Hello everyone. Since folks seem to enjoy the video of myself and my niece and our base, this is my own personal base. Thought I'd show it to you. This is my little bedroom that I added later on. Started with this little cabin here. And built out storage here and then workbench and bunch more storage here. These are all the stuff that lots of my riches up there, and then I got all my supplies down here. Various things all separated out. Got some leather and stuff. And then I added this space in order to have a place to do my mead fermenting. And here's my forge. I got lots of extra storage, and this has my various types of stone or ore, excuse me, fermented or not. Shut doors over. And then we have here my coal maker and my smelter. My garden. Now this was all land that was in the water. I started off building out over the water because I felt like it was defensible. So let me show you the whole thing. And I put my bees up high. They like it up here. And I have quite a few of them. So there's the little original boat. Then I built these two little cabin. I built these two little add-ons for the specialty cooking stuff, and eventually the second one is going to be for the iron cooking one, but I don't have the iron for it yet. And out there is our lovely ocean. Show you the map where we are. We're right here. This is where we landed, very close to here when we first came in. I saw that this was a little peninsula, and I'm standing on the very edge of it. We built out a good portion of it out over the water. We cut off a good chunk of this and made land, and our boat dock is over in here. So we can come around this point, and then we're into a sheltered harbor. Still gets pretty wild when it's storming, but looking pretty good. Over here we have our portal farm. Just built that out over the water. That was completely part of the bay before, but thought, well, that seems like a handy place to build out over and put all the portals there, because I started them along here, but it was really cramped, so made a new space for them. And then up here you can see our boat harbor, and now we've got a watchtower. I just built that. We have some lights that show from around the corner, and there's a shooting gallery out around the edges, so you can fire on anything that might be coming from the sea. Only occasionally do the gray dwarfs or graylings actually swim out here now. Mostly it's completely serene. The boats bump into each other, or they bump into the dock when it's stormy, so then they take a little damage. But because I have a set of workbenches inside the fence, I'm within reach to fix them. I just periodically run through and fix them all. And then over here again is the server farm. Not server farm, the portal farm. And got portals going to a number of places now. And if you look at the map, I use the there's a portal icon right here. Actually, I didn't make that one the portal icon. That's interesting. I'll have to fix that. But everywhere that I've got a portal, Actually, I've done badly about that. I've just used the I'll have to fix that. I thought I was using the portal icon everywhere there was a portal, but actually I just have a house. There's the portal icon. That's the one I want to use. So I've got a portal icon on each of these separate islands has a portal. There's not one on this one because I mainly come to it from this. There's a little bridge I made across. But also this one is largely plains, and I have not ventured too far out into there. I did find another trader over here, so that's Trader 2. Trader 1 is up in here somewhere. Yeah, there's Trader 1. There's a portal there. So usually I try to put a portal near the traders so you can get back and forth. Yeah, there's a portal there, Trader 2 portal. There is a lot of plains on this as well, prairie plains. I kind of use those interchangeably. So this is a quite dangerous place because there's just a narrow strip of black forest and meadows, and otherwise you're surrounded by goblins and stuff. And this plains area seems to go all the way around. I think these two are connected. I can't prove it yet, but I think so. And then it goes on down here where there's another bunch of plains. Also very dangerous. This one's surrounded by swamp. So, or south is all swamp, so I have to get going through there. I haven't got too far through this swamp yet, just around the edges. And then this one down here, I think is a unique island. It's not touching anything I haven't been to yet. So, we got Southeast Portal here. And then up in here, this is all one connected land, but there's a huge lake in the middle, which makes it very inconvenient for running around. So that's why I put a portal down here at South Fort. And then up here, near the Trader 1, I've been all over this area that's meadows or black forest. I've been a little bit out into that swamp. That swamp is going to be very interesting because it's also connected to plains, which is going to be a little dicey. Trying to get through a forest. There is a little black forest chunk here. I don't know how big it is. I'm kind of working my way up this coast to see if I can get there. And then that's everywhere I've been so far. But there is definitely land over here. Looks mostly like swamp and plains. And I did find an elder way out here. So I know I have to go out there sooner or later. But yeah, you can see it's pretty intense. And all the islands on this map, I think every time you create a server, they randomly generate the map. But there's an awful lot of stuff that's kind of jammed into the middle here. And it's interesting because several of the frosted areas are totally non-productive. There's no silver, no eggs. I've walked that whole place. I've used my ears to look for hidden things. Nothing. And that is a pretty big chunk of snow to have nothing in it. Over here there is silver and 2 frost caves. So I think there's probably more silver in there. There are golems and it's pretty dangerous up there. So I usually just go straight to the silver vein and try to get that out of there. And then hike down the mountain. And then over here I haven't been all the way around yet, so we gotta go up there. But that shows you kind of what I've been working with. I now have all 3 types of boats. I have raft that I first went around on. Then I got up enough stuff to make a carva. And I actually have, I believe I've got 3 carva. But 2 are here at base because I brought home a bunch of ore. I don't know if you've played Valheim before, but if you do, you'll know that you can't bring ore of any kind through, whether it's refined or not, through a portal. So you can get to where you're going, but you can't bring the ore back, and that's my dock area that I made. I'll show you that. In here are the piggies on pig farm. And they're wandering around in there. I think they have a little... I just harvested a bunch of them, so they're not as many as there were but there's plenty of room for more. And then my outer wall that I built, that's completely me built. That wasn't there first. That was built out toward the water, and then I built the land up by using the hoe tool to raise the land in there, and then raise the fence again. The outer fence is still just logs way out over the water, but so far we haven't had anybody bothering us. We may have to rethink that if and when we get we have killed Ecthier boss, but not the Elder boss, because it's a bit more challenging. And then in here, just another gate into the same space. We have another lookout. This one goes out over the approach. This forest that's out here, that's something I planted completely, just to be a source. That was all big open field, but now it has my fine wood in the form of the birch. I plant every birch seed I get, and then harvest them. I found some oak trees, so I harvested the acorns and brought them back and planted them. We have pines, we have for core wood, and we have fir trees for regular wood. And this one you can overlook the harbor and the outer area from the same overlook. And here is the harbor area. Now over here I plan to build this up and move it out if we need to accommodate more boats, but I think right now we have about as many boats as we need. Yeah, so I've cordoned that all off. I can raise the land in there and use it for something. I haven't decided what, but guest house, I guess. So anyway, this is the original raft that I used. There is another one floating around here somewhere, because what I do is I take the raft supplies with me and hop through a portal, find a likely launch place, and launch from there. There's, like I said, 2 of our Carva. I think I might have 3 altogether. Can't reach that one from here. It's drift. They do drift. And this is the big long ship that I just made. I haven't actually taken it anywhere yet. I just finished getting enough iron to make that. You need iron nails in order to make the big long ship. It's much faster and stronger than the Carva, which is tremendously much faster than the raft. The raft has no storage. The Carva has 4 storage spots, and I forget how many storage spots this has, but let's find out. Oh yeah, tons. 6 by 3, 18 spots. So you can store a lot of gear on here. You can bring 1, 2, 3, 4 people with you and yourself. You could bring more, but they'd have to stand in the ship, and you could hang on to the mast, so they wouldn't necessarily fall off, but it would be a little dicey in a storm. And then over here is where I made here's where you can climb up if you get dumped in the water. So far it hasn't happened, but it could. And then in here is just a little safety spot to be able to fire on anything that's in the water. And to look out. Obviously foggy is not such a great view, but there's my lookout up above, my honey out on the ledge above the rocks. That worked out better than I thought. Occasionally a little honey goes side by side down into the water, go by the wayside, or that's what I meant. And you lose a little bit. I could walk around the outside and grab it, but I don't need that extra honey. So let's make sure that our ships are in good shape. So I would always fix the ships before I would take them out, make sure they were in good shape, because it'd be very rude to be halfway out and about and discover that your ship needed to be fixed. But you could always pull over to the shore and do a quick fix, put down a workbench. Now, I've been told that the deck will never, any outdoor furniture, to see how this is brand new. This is what I built the most recently, so it's still healthy brown color. And then you get this way and it starts to be damaged. That's never supposed to drop below 50%. So I wouldn't really have to fix it, but according to my friend Lord Tambu, who has helped me learn the game, it will never drop below 50%. But it dropped to 50% pretty quickly because of this weather and wear. This is just a quick way for me to jump out of my inner part down to the docks if I needed to. But you can refresh it, but you don't need to because it will never drop below 50%. But it just looks kind of old and worn. So if that bothers you, you can fix it. But it's going to look that way again because there's weather on here all the time. There's always rain and storms. It is going to start looking like this again very quickly. The trouble is, it doesn't wear more than 50% by the weather, but if you come under attack, obviously, it's going to require half as much effort to break through your wall. So I keep fixing it anyway, even though I know it's probably silly. Yeah, for some reason the walls themselves never degrade, but the doors do. They don't degrade unless you're getting hit by whomever. But all the regular wood, or the, what you would think of as worked wood, definitely degrades. Interesting. Yeah, so anything that's front facing, I have not had a troll approach the house yet. If they do, I'm hoping this outer wall of stone will protect the base long enough for me to kill the troll. I can get up here and fight him off. But so far, for a troll to manifest in here, I think you would have to either you'd be in the process of killing the elder or have killed the elder, because otherwise the awakening of the world around you, which happens with Ekthir, it just pertains to boar and greylings, great dwarves, and what's the other one? Oh, the necks, the little green guys. So, like, if they did come, here's the weak point, is the doors. But the way I've tried to augment that so that I'm not going to be too at risk is inside each of these doors, there's additional doors and fences. You can't just waltz in. And they most likely go for the pigs, which are right here. Because for some reason, whenever you come under attack, they always go for the pigs. Oh, I do have some. I can feed them. So first you gotta make sure you're facing in there. And as high as you can get. And then, I can split this. I just usually throw in like 5 at a time. There we go. And if you feed your piggies, they will make more piggies. If you don't feed your piggies, then your piggies are fine. They walk around and do piggy things, but they don't make little piggies. So, They're all tame. I can run in there and pet them. But they won't procreate unless you feed them. Which kind of makes sense. Alright, so they've been fed. You don't have to feed them a lot. I do usually 5 at a time. That gets them in the mood. Anyway, so that was this. Now out here in the forest I have walkways I've made that lead in the various directions. So it's a little easier to get down the road. And then I can harvest any of these trees as I need them. So I need to get some more pines because this is fir. There's a pine. I need to get some more core wood. So I'll eventually come out and harvest some of these. But it is really very nice to come home to our house. Now this is climbable if you have enough stamina. So I might have to raise this up a bit. But we'll see what happens when we come under attack. The other option, like I've used with my nieces, is to actually undermine the outer wall. And since this is underwater here, it stands to reason if I drop this down, this is going to be underwater as well. So we have a natural moat building around our... Widen that here. Oh, there they go. Piggies are in the mood. Yep, so there's our harbor. I could build this out a bit more this way, but so far this has been adequate to protect the boats. The graylings don't usually come across from here, at least anymore. Especially if they come to attack the house, and I lead them elsewhere by coming out of the fence, then they leave everything alone. And nothing ever attacks when you're not home, so that's really good. So again, that's the piggies. And I do have a gate through the back side of the piggies into the area just outside of the portal farm. Garden. This is the gate into the portal farm. I can show you that area. I've just been placing them down there, and then of course the next row will be along here, and I have room for quite a lot more portals. Here's the back gate into the piggy area, and that way they're contained if they get out. They can't get anywhere but here. They never seem to want to get out. And then this is my observation post. I didn't build a stand here, but I might. It's a little too within reach of the land, so a troll can easily walk along there and whack into this fence. So I didn't want to make anything reduce the size of the protections. But I might go ahead and build up a bit more on this corner and build an observation point there. Haven't decided that yet. Wish you could see better because this is really quite beautiful when you're here. That's the Ekthir, if you can see the Ekthir stand is very close by there. There's another one over here. And this is where you put the trophies. So right now there's just Ekthir there. We have found the Elder in several places. One's over here. It's very close to the water, so I was not able to dig underneath it. So to make a protected place. So there's another option, which would be to build the fence up around it, build a stone wall around it, so that anything that spawns inside of that wall. Or you can dig underneath the stone platform that the Elder's flame is on and have a hiding place and a respawn place underneath. That didn't work there because it's so close to the water. So that was one Elder spot. Trying to think if I found any others other than the one that's out west. I don't think so. I did find Motor though. That's the ice dragon boss, and I haven't gotten any further up into there yet, but I did isolate him the last time I was out. So that's a relief to find him. So we've got 2 Ekthirs, we've got 2 Elders. I don't think I found any others. Yeah, see, that one's way over here. Now I have gone up around this, and this just extends up and up and up, so I don't know if there's a way around this area to get to that Elder. The other option is to come... I had a ship at South Fort. I sailed it around the outer edge, so it's now at base, home base. I used it to sail around here and explore this whole area. And now it's back at base, so I'll have to take it out again. That's the only problem with the setup as it is that you can't get from here straight to there with ore because, you have to walk all the way around, and it's not the end of the world, but it's kind of a pain. So I did build a launch point here and a boat landing here, and that's where one of the rafts was, but I then sailed it up through here to see if I could, so it's now back at home. Actually, only one's at home, so I'm not sure where the other raft is at this point in time. And then I had a longboat over here, but I just sailed that home. Not a longboat, Carva. And I had a ship at the South Central East boat portal, because there's a South Central. As you discover more of the map, it's going to get harder and harder to keep these names straight. So I had a boat there and I had a boat here, but I think I sailed them home to the South Fort here, and so I'm not sure what I've got out and about now. I'm going to go through to South Fort and show you that one. So you can see where that is. That's Trader 1, South Fort. There we go. Oh, I have ore on me. I do. I have iron. I forgot. I was helping my niece out, and the server glitched, and so I brought some of that home to take that to hers. So that's her iron. Try not to steal her stuff. Whatever you have on you, if you moved from server to server, comes with you. So that's South Fort. That's where we want to go. And we have North Swamp, the Snow one, and then this is my Rescue Portal C, just for my initial cat. That way, if I get somewhere and I decide to drop a portal, I don't have to have one built up on this end to make it work. I can just mark it C, come home through the portal, and build the new one, and then pop back through C and rename the end one. It works pretty well. So here I have a smelting and coal production area, because there's so much. See, here's where I am. That's where home base is, and I'm here. There's so much copper around here that I decided it was a good idea to build a fort here. It looks like I died here at one point, so let me go back up top, see if I can get rid of my body marker. This one is protected by a wooden fort. This one does see trolls occasionally, but mostly there is this filled in area. Careful when I leave the fort, because I didn't have any food on me. I dug out an enormous thing of copper here. Let's see. Where's my icon? So it's just a little bit to the north of me. Yeah, I think it's embedded in here. I think I fixed it already. Yeah, pretty sure this is an old marker. So that's what you get on the map if you die. This was a big mine for copper, and I filled it back in with stones that I took out of the mine. It's, you know, not all the way back in. Oh, big bear. But I filled it in somewhat because it was very dangerous. It was right outside the gate. And I felt like I would probably run out the gate and quickly get myself into a world of hurt. Let's see if we got room for a bear. We do. So, the only trouble with firing on a bear this close to a huge pit is you're likely to fall in with the bear. But I'm going to hope that he falls in that pit on his own. He doesn't know what to do either. Try to get at me. Now those are all fire arrows. I also have obsidian arrows. I'm going to switch to them and see how effective they are. Oh, I'm missing him. Oh, I think I hit him. He turned green. He'd taken off. He did not like those. Those have a good amount of penetration. So he took off. He will eventually come back around. Or it has been my experience that they do. Might go hunt him down. It is nice that you have the capacity to use that hole as a protection device. So if a troll comes along or a bear, you might be able to actually lure them into the hole, and then they have a lot harder time of attacking you. You could shoot down at them from the top of the... He buggered off in a big way, didn't he? I don't hear him. He took off for parts unknown. Did not like that obsidian arrow, that's for sure. The fire ones didn't seem to bother him that much, but I hit him once with that obsidian one. I try to maintain the berry bushes all around as much as I can. Try not to fight anything near them so they don't get squished. My theory has been, it feels like the more you harvest berries, the more berries are generated near where you pick them. Like, it seems like you start with 2 or 3. Oh, there he is down there. I think that's him down by the water. Let's find out. Yep, that's him. Did I hit him? I think I was a little too high. There, I got him that time. One star bear. Yeah, he didn't like that. Whatever that obsidian doing is causing like a chemical reaction of some kind. Well, he got me that time. He missed. I think it's just a regular bear. Oh no, he's one of the big ones. They are harder to kill. Yep, we're gonna have to get away from him. Drag him back over here. He's a big fella. He doesn't want to come over here. I have to have time for my health to respawn. Can't tell if I'm hitting him or not. I don't think so. Ah, that one did. I can just let him go. I don't really need bear. But yeah, he's a little bit much for the level of food I've eaten. Ah, he's buggered off. We'll let him go. I don't want to waste any more arrows. I don't want him hovering around my base though. But anyway, so this one I built the shore into an area where I can safely harbor boats. But I've sailed the boat. There, see, I've made the walls out a little bit. There are a couple of low rocks, which makes it not ideal, but I can sail them in from there and come along here and harbor them right here. It isn't perfect, but it's fairly safe. Now, one thing that you can't do with a portal is go from one portal to another outside of the home portal. You have to go back to the home portal and then you can go outward to another portal. So that is a little bit of a bummer. It'd be cool if you could go in between them all, but you can't, so you always have to go back to home base and then... Oh good, those doors are holding up just fine. So I don't think we've had a troll come by. I have killed trolls here, so I think that they decided that this is a place to steer clear of. And we can head on home. And then you can choose to go out somewhere else. And so far we've got quite a variety of places that we're going. Southwest Portal, West Port, Center Fort, South Central Boat, you saw that one on the map, Northeast Island, North Central Portal, Southeast Portal, Trader 2, Northeast Safety, that's a tower, and South Central East Boat, we saw that one on the map as well. So if I take you to this one, this is a tower. That's where we found the motor. By pushing on that, it showed us where motor was. So this is in the snow. So we are well up north. You can hear the ice drakes. So here's where we're located. Northeast Safety Portal. And there is silver up here. I'm sure of it, but I just haven't found it other than this one location. And at that location there was a golem. And that's the first time I've ever successfully killed a golem. Was at this place. I'll show you where he was. He was in this hole where the silver is. And he was blocked behind the silver, but I managed to kill him. Actually, here's the tricky part. You can mine the silver, but you can't take it out through the portal, so you have to run it home And the only way to do that is to get it out to the boat portal, which is over here, and come with a boat. So that's what I did the last time, is I mined a bunch of it and got it down to the portal. So not that hard to do. I don't think this was the silver vein. No, this was not the place where I trapped the golem. But that did work. So you can trap a golem and then you can shoot him to death with your arrows. But you have to have like a hole or lure them into some place that's too steep for them to climb out of, which has to be pretty steep. In the case of where I had him trapped, he was trapped between the wall of the hole and the silver ore, and so he just was stuck in there and he couldn't get out. So I was able to stand on the other side of the ore and pepper him with arrows until he finally died. But that's the only time I've managed to kill a golem on my own. You have to listen for crunching footsteps because I hear him. I hear a golem coming. Yep, there he is. Right, now, I don't want to attract him to here, but I want him gone, away from me. Because he will kill me with a couple of different swipes. So I have to be careful not to attract him. Every time I hear those crunching footsteps, I bugger off because I don't want to be in a position of having to I don't want to lure him to this safety place where the portal is, but I also don't want to lure him up toward the silver. So he's going back downhill. The drakes will fight him, but they don't do any damage because they're hitting him with ice, and ice doesn't kill him. So to get down to there's a safe way here. I've marked it safe way up mountain. There are a ton of wolves up here. Yeah, he's wandering around just down there. So I think I'm gonna bugger off over. Oops, jeez. I think I'm gonna bugger off overland and get this ore down to the boat dock. So I have to figure out which is the best way. This is so steep, it's not safe at all, and there's another stone castle there. So I have to go out toward that way, which is to the... I think I'm gonna have to go right past the golem, which is very unsettling. I'm going this way. This is the way down. You have to be prepared to fight off the wolves and ice drakes. This is the safe route down. There's a wolf. Nope, that's a deer. What is it doing up here? Anyway, hey, that's obsidian. Might as well get the obsidian on the way by. The trouble is you slide on these hillsides. There we go. That obsidian, that'll come in handy. And make more obsidian arrows. I've got some at home, but you can always use more. But you definitely have to you hear that whoo noise in the background. That's wolves, and they are following you. There's a crow up on the rock there. They are following you and or outpacing you in order to kill you on the way down the mountain. And they will follow you down into the regular forest a little bit, not too far. But if you shoot an arrow at a wolf, it will speed up their decision to attack you. So you have to be prepared. to hit them with a sword quickly. At least that's my strategy so far, because you can get them with 1 or 2 arrows, maybe. There's an ice drake up there. You can see them flapping. There's another one there. They're usually around their egg nest, which is also usually around a silver vein. It's a safe way down out of the mountains here. Because this mountain range is so steep and tall, this is the only safe route that I've discovered. Oh, there you are. Gray dwarf. And then down around here. And get down out of the snow as quickly as you can. So it seems kind of tiresome. Ah, shit! Yeah. Especially when you got that kind of thing running around in the woods. Now they don't always chase you very far. There's a troll right here. This is a troll house. So if you're being chased, you can walk into the foyer of the troll house. Even from a troll. They won't come in after you. And then you can fight them with arrows from that doorway. Kind of a handy way to avoid them. See, that bear didn't chase me. I don't believe he's chasing me. And now I'm just working my way around the mountain to get back to the shore. Make sure I'm on target. That's our portal right there, so we have to run all that way. That's why it's so handy to have a portal up top too. You don't have to fight those guys, but they will follow you and throw rocks at you, so. If you run into a... there's a troll right ahead of us. Shit. Okay, we're going to drop down to the shore. Go around him. There's skeletons to my left because there is a barrel I didn't know was there. Cool. Now you can do the same thing with barrows. You can walk into the gate of a barrow. Okay, I have room for the eye. There we go. There they have an eye. You can walk into this area at the gate of them before you actually engage with the barrow. And nothing can attack you in here. Some of the gray dwarfs will walk in here, but a troll won't. Wolves, I'm not sure about wolves, but you can just pop through here and then eventually they lose interest and go away while you're working inside the barrow. Try to get away from that troll. So those are two alternatives for dealing with being chased when you're not prepared. Like sometimes you're running through the forest and you don't realize that your food has run out. Oh, I hear a bear. So either that same bear or a different bear has found me. I did see copper there that I hadn't marked, but marking copper is not that important. I don't think that was the same bear. I think that was a different bear. There are a lot of bears in Black Forest. Bears and trolls do seem to propagate in there. Those are pretty straightforward to pick your ground and go after them when you feel comfortable. So like I'll outrun them for a while until I can stretch them out into the They're not all bunched up. Pick them off one or two at a time. Looks like I'm full up on wood. No, I'm full up on weight. That's what's got me. Silver's heavy. So, I can't carry anything more. So now I'm just going to run out here to the shore. I can plunk down the silver in the storage. I don't think there's a boat here right now. I think I sailed that. I think that's where the second carva came from. Because I had come up here to carry silver ore home. And I don't believe I brought the carva back up here yet. So there's our home. You can see the light. This is a copper pit that I dug. I have not filled it in yet. I filled it in partially. Jeez, it's deep. Yeah. I filled it in partly so that it wasn't like deadly to fall into. But you'll still take damage falling that far. I had this up to help me rebuild the dirt up. And I have another house up there that's like a backup stored protected place. Looks like it's under fire right now. I heard somebody hitting metal or hitting stone. This one I put spikes out to protect the place. And it looks like the spikes are having an impact. It does look like somebody has been damaging my... Yeah, there's one that's been completely destroyed. So let's try and fix them if they need fixing. They do protect the house pretty well, but they are very fragile, surprisingly. Oh. Every time something hits them, they have to be fixed, or they just second hit, I think, they are destroyed. Looks like something came in here and got in. I don't have any room left. So anyway, this is a backup safety zone. Does not have the portal, but it is a more robust place for me to hide out if something attacks the base at the shore. And I could build a portal up here if I needed it, so I'm all set. I even have a place up here where you can fire down upon things, but it's sort of limited because of that tree. I have to take that tree out. And I only made it going one direction so that I could get a good roof over the workbench, which is right here. Let's see, does it need fixing? No. How about the doors? Nope, they're good. So whatever it was attacking up here did not affect the building very much. But yeah, it was right outside this copper node, so I dug up all the copper. And I have shipped that home and smelted it all up. So here is our boat portal. Yeah, there's no boat here because this is where the boat would sit. It's not a really solid place, but it does work. Let's see if I can get up there and get that. That way you can see it. It doesn't render in until you're pretty close, but this way if you can see where you're headed in the dark, it's kind of handy. There we've just protected it with a few spikes, but not very many, and it does come under attack here and there, but so far, surprisingly not that much. So here we've got our portal. You can see what we're doing in here. Yep. So we've got our workbench, we've got some storage. I always put some food just for emergency's sake, and a few arrows to help beef up what I'm carrying with me. I usually take as much stuff home. I've got stone that I built up here so that I can build a stone wall around it if I need to. So far it hasn't felt too necessary. I'll leave some more wood here leave some more of that stone. No more will fit in there. Here. I'm going to take everything else home with me. I don't think I have any more. I do have a few. Yeah, so we'll take everything else with us because we always need the resin at home. Got some more core wood to build up the spikes. I brought that from home, so I'll need to do that. Now, I can leave the silver here, which is what I'm going to have to do because I don't have a boat here. And that turns on our... I'll go ahead, since I have the room, I'll go ahead and take some of this stuff home that we're not going to use up here. Definitely going to leave the hoe here. There we go. Top home. Now I have to bring a boat up there to pick up that silver. I might wait till I get a little bit more. 5 is not really worth the trip. Although every bit of silver is helpful. I've been digging silver wherever I can find it. And this is all I've gotten so far is 73. And I need 40 of them to make my niece a silver sword, but I also needed iron. Iron was pretty hard to find. So now we got into the swamp on her map and found some iron. So when I get that back, I'll take some silver with me and then I can make her I'll show you. Oh, I just added a door through to the forge so you don't have to go outside anymore to get here. But on here, I'll show you what it costs to make a silver sword. They're very expensive. You need 40 silver, 5 iron, regular wood, and leather scraps. Now I think I've got everything I need to make her a silver sword now. Actually I could because I've got it with the iron I brought from her place. I can do that. Let me just go put everything down and I can make her a silver sword. You can see it's really not that complicated. Not too exciting, but put that there. Eyeballs are down here. And I have some more up here, I think, somewhere. Like a backup spot. Can't remember where I started putting them because everything's getting too full. I'll just put them there. These are buke berries. They're to make you throw up. So if you've eaten something and the mix is not the right for what you're under attack from, you can eat those and that will vomit out the food that you have on you. Seems kind of like a weird thing to do, but let's see. I know there's there they are. And then you'll be able to eat something else. So that way you can change up the mix of what you have on you, because sometimes it's those out of there and make that all blueberries. And we'll put the raspberries over in one of these other ones. There we go. Okay. There we go. The reason I had the resin on me was I was planning to run around and update all these. But I got sidetracked. Happens to me all the time. Start off with one goal, wander off into something else. Sometimes I get back to the original goal and sometimes I don't. I did like making this wall top area for the bees. Originally I just put some there because I had run out of space and I was just trying to get the bees somewhere. Because they were over there where in this side over here where the servers, or the portals were. And it was just too crowded. So then I decided to put some up top and that worked out so well that I moved them all up top. And they're perfectly happy up there. Yeah, see these things, they last a while, but when they start running down, it's kind of hard to see what you're doing in the dark. I've got quite a few of them around. I don't really like to be stumbling around in the dark. Go around and update their resin. You pick up a lot of resin in the game, so it's not really a problem. But it's just time consuming, especially since like I've put them quite a few places, so it's a little bit time consuming to update them all. But it's handy. You see what's going on. I had some by these doors, but I think I let those slip because it wasn't really very productive. And since you use a lot of resin, 4 for each, to fully fill it, when you're updating your torches, they can use up a lot of resin. Yeah, you know, just run up and get that silver maybe, or haven't quite decided what I want to do next. Those were just put on recently, so they haven't really wound down too much. There we go. This is the most recent thing I built, was this end of the dock. Yep, see how when we were here earlier that was all brand new, and I updated most of this. You can see how fast it falls apart. The ships are still in good repair though. And just whenever you pass by, it's good to check, just do your repair. I have that set to number 6. You can take a look and make sure everything's in good repair. Now this raft is really good for sailing down through here because the draft is real low and getting to there. But I also had a raft at this log cabin that I would run that down to the boat landing and down to then physically walk down to Southport and come back to the boat landing and bring the boat back up here so that I could transport ore, because that's a pretty straight shot. That might be where the other raft is right now. I'm not really sure. After a while, you kind of lose track of where you put stuff. Should probably make a note somewhere, but yeah, not that big a deal. Making another raft is so straightforward. It's let's see, I can show you. A raft only costs 20 wood, 6 leather scraps, which you get off of pigs or bats at the Frost Cave. They give you leather scraps as well. Some resin and a workbench. That's it. So I can carry that stuff with me and drop in. Now Carva takes 80 bronze nails and 10 deer hides and 30 fine wood, so that's a lot more expensive. But when you get to the longboat, that takes 100 iron nails, which is 10 iron. If you get 10 nails per, I think that's right, 10. And then you have to have ancient bark and fine wood, quite a lot of each. And ancient bark you can only get from the swamp. Fine wood you get from birch trees. So that's why I have so many birch trees planted outside the gate there. Alright, so that's basically the gist of the base, how it operates, all the outward locations, and the shape of the map is strange. It's different than anything else I've been on. And I was very surprised to discover there was no value whatsoever to this whole ice area. I'm not sure that I found everything, but then there's an ice area up here that's pretty profound. I mean, I've been all the way around the edges of it. So that's going to be a big one. And I have not been through the center of this island. I don't think there's ice in the middle of that. I just ran around the outside and gathered up enough leather, because I crash landed there when my boat was destroyed, and ran around the outside to get pigs until I could get enough leather to make a raft and come home. So that's what happened. Yep, lots to explore, lots more to do. Gotta get up here for Motor, but usually around Motor there's a ton of ice drakes and wolves, so that's going to take some interesting effort to get up in there. They respawn very quickly, so you might clear them all out one time and they'll all be back the next time you go up. So that's gonna, I'm not sure that's a one-person job to get Motor, but before you kill Motor you have to kill the Elder. So I either have to contain him over here in this one where it's underwater, or I have to explore out here to find him here. Once you kill the Elder, which is a big tree, then you start getting attacked by the swamp creatures. And then you have to find Bone Mass, who is a swamp creature. So he's in there somewhere. In one of these swamps. There's so much of it swamp. He's in there somewhere. And you have to get fairly close to find Bone Mass, and then you have to defeat Bone Mass before you can defeat Motor. So, yeah, a lot to do. It's a very interesting game. It's just never boring. Sometimes you're not a high enough level. You don't feel like you're strong enough to go through a particular area. I have really good armor, but I need to get some. I mean, the Silver Sword is great against things that are like sensitive to silver damage, but some things are not, and I definitely need to make a big hammer or axe to like the crystal battle axe. I could make that to fight the golems, because you need to have a fairly amount of slash and block force. You need to be able to block them because they are really strong. This is a two-handed item too, so you can't really fight them. You can't hold a shield while you're fighting them with that, I don't believe. The other thing you could do is to use your Silver Sword with a silver shield and fight with that, but the golems are not sensitive to the Silver Sword. Penetration or pierce or slash, they don't work against them. So the slash is the major feature of the Silver Sword, so that doesn't work. So there's also a big metal hammer you can make, but I am not high enough level to make that, so I don't have one. So I have to work on my leveling up to get higher. The crystal battle axe right now is the only thing I could make, and I don't have enough crystal. That you get out of frost caves. So I just discovered a couple frost caves. I'm going to go looking for that. I believe that's the only one I have that could go after the golems. you might be able to hit them with your pickaxe, but you have to get awfully close. And one swing of their let's see, block force, bandage shield, 40. Yeah, I don't think that's going to do it. Parry bonus. Yeah, it's gonna. I'm gonna have to figure this all out and figure out which one is going to be the best one to make. Some of them are very heavy too, so you have to figure out which one's going to be the best one, the one you can make. And sometimes there's these pendants that help you with stamina regeneration. This one does health regeneration, but it does take up a spot in your they all go in your inventory, and there's no bigger bag so far. I do have a belt which gives me 450 if I'm not wearing the belt. My ability to carry goes down to 300. So you can't wear the wishbone to look for secret sites and the belt at the same time. So it's good to go around and listen for spots first and mark them, and then put your belt back on and go dig them up, because otherwise you won't be able to carry all the stuff that you pick up. At least that's what I've discovered so far. So that's some of the stuff that we're working on. You definitely want to be able to kill a golem, but it's not as straightforward as you might think. So trapping them and hitting them with a billion arrows worked. I had to use up almost every arrow I had, and so I made a bunch more arrows. And these obsidian ones seem more effective. And those ones you just need obsidian. That's why I was happy to get some more of that. Obsidian, feathers, and wood. And then I have the fire arrows. They work pretty well on ice drakes. Really well on ice drakes, as a matter of fact. So, overall, then the main strategy now is to find more iron, beef up our things that we can make. For that, we have to go to the swamp. That's the only place where iron is. We don't have an iron key, a crypt key, because you have to get that from killing the elder. And without the crypt key, you can't open the crypts. You can dig up iron that you find in deposits around the swamp, but you can't get into the crypt. We tried digging under one, but it doesn't work anymore. I guess that was a known workaround, but it has been, at least so far on the 4 or 5 crypts I've tried it on, it doesn't work. They're usually fairly low to the ground, and as soon as you start digging under them, they fill up with water. So, or your holes fill up with water, so that's not viable. Anyway, that's a lot of talk. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed seeing how I've got things set up. My kitchen, butcher block. Here is the fish cutting up in place. Got quite a bit of fish so far. And then this is where I'm going to put that big iron cook place that allows you to make fancier foods, or cook, maybe not make fancier foods, but cook higher end stuff like sea serpents. I'll show you what I mean. This one here, the iron cooking station. I have everything I need now, but you also have to make this large fire, and I don't have a stone cutter. So I can't make that until I get to the place where I can make a stone cutter. And a stone cutter requires iron, and I hadn't been willing to commit that until because that 6 iron that I have, that's Nina's, my niece's. So I only have 5 iron, so yeah, I don't have enough to do everything I want to do with iron. The other thing you'd want to do with iron is to augment this level of your forge. So if you want to come over and see, I've got a bellows, and I've got a cooler and a grinder, and those things allow you to augment your forge to, I think I'm at level 5, yeah. So if I want to take it any higher, I believe there's, let's see. I can do anvils. Oh, I've got anvils already, so that isn't it. It's this one. Smith's anvil, but that's 20 iron that takes. So I won't be able to do that for a while. And then there's the forge tool rack, which takes 15 iron. And that you could put up here on the wall above your forge, and that will jump up your forge one more level. But I can't do that right now. I don't have enough iron. So that's the trickiness. There is one more smelter, a blast furnace, but you have to have an artisan's table, and as I understand it, you can't get that until you kill Motor. That's who gives you the capability. So I think what we've done is we've gotten as far as we can. We could make a spinning wheel, but not until we get the artisan's table. So these things, the windmill, the spinning wheel, and the blast furnace all require an artisan's table, which we don't have yet. I could make a cartography table. That's where you can transfer the information from you to anyone else playing on your map. But you could share what you've discovered. I think that's on miscellaneous, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But since I'm the only one that plays this server, that is not necessary. And this one, we do have one on Nina's server that we play together. And I have no idea what this is. 1 rock, 1 coal. No idea. I don't know what it's for. Excuse me, folks. Anyway, this is the width and breadth of my base. I did start off very small, and I built it out. There was a little house here that I started with, and then I just kept making it bigger. Oh, now it's a pretty day, so you can see. Still a little foggy, but yeah. You could run up and get that silver. Actually, I could do that and show you what it's like to sail. Let's do that. Good to go during daylight, because they're less likely to have a sea serpent attack you. I won't say it's not beyond the realm of possibility that one could attack us, but less likely. I'm going to take a carver because the big ship's kind of overkill for. Take the outer one. So we have a little bit of wind. We're going to bump our other ship, so it's okay. Not do much damage. Yep, we lost our wind. So when you lose wind, you can still go forward. You just scull. You can see the little oar underneath the mini-map sculling away. And then when you get out into the wind, you can let your sail down and really let her rip. Now this is the general direction we need to go to get to where I left the silver, which is up here. Each time I go across here, you want to go as fast as you can, because there are sea serpents out in here. Now we would like to kill a sea serpent, but you don't want to try to do it alone out at sea, because you have to let go of the helm to kill them. But if they do attack you, the best course of action seems to be to pull them to land, have them chase you if they want to. Oh shoot, it's getting dark. Yeah, shoot, I thought we'd be able to make the whole trip in the daylight. But we're gonna get there okay, but we won't get home in the daylight. Night comes on here pretty quick. So you gotta keep your eyes peeled. if you find the sea serpent on your butt, the best plan is to either keep going if you've got the wind, or turn so that you do have the wind and run ahead of them and hit into shore as fast as you can. See, we're not even halfway there yet, but we're on a good path. As the wind shifts, you might find yourself having to tack, and that's where you get into a little trouble. We're not going at full speed. We're going pretty quickly, though. Full speed would be with the wind directly behind us. If you can pull them into land behind you, if you have two people, one person can harpoon them and attach them to land, and then the other person can kill them with arrows and sword, or axe, or hammer, whatever you happen to have. But on your own, it's pretty hard to hold them to shore. So if you have fire arrows, they don't like those. But I don't know if there's a better arrow. I turn away a little bit, try to get that wind behind us a little more, because we're a little bit off track on hitting at the cabin. I'm glad I lit the lights. See better. Yeah, we're a little bit to the west of where we want to be. A small change in your boat's trajectory can make a big difference in where you land, so you kind of have to play it a little bit at a time. This is helping though too, because it's keeping the wind more on our tail. Now we're more than halfway, so if they're going to hit you out in here. Well, that's one of them. Yep, that's a sea serpent right there on our right. See it circling around in circles? Alright, so we have to get into shore as quickly as we can. We're on the right path. He may or may not chase us. Oh, he's going to chase us. Yeah, he's going to chase us. So we want to get into a shore position as quickly as possible. Now I can start to see the house. He's still after us? Nope. He decided against it. Interesting. He might be the one that's mostly dead from the last time we had an encounter. Which means he might be a little reluctant to chase us into shore. Go in to the side there. Now that I can see a little bit better. We have a shallow spot right out in front. And then we could just turn into our harbor. Turned a little too sharply there. Turn back. Try not to hit anything. Try to get us into shore without killing the boat. Ugh. A little bit too much. There we go. Now we will quickly fix the boat. And then push it back into the water. Just a little bit. There. Don't want to push it too far. I just want to push it off. Now we know that the sea serpent is out there. And he's on our trajectory home. And he's fairly close here, but he won't follow us into shore. I don't know if they heal. If that's the one who chased us previously, and he doesn't heal, then he's largely dead. That might be a reason why he neglected to chase us in there. But if it's the one that, if it's a new one or if he's healed, then he's between us and getting home. Now we do have another option. We know he's out in here. We can go straight this way and then around that island and home. Or we can go up here and straight down this way to home. Actually, that might be a good way to go, because I haven't... See this water here that's gray? Gray, darker gray means I have not disturbed that water yet. I haven't gone that way. I haven't been that path. Whereas the lighter colored one that you can see the clouds through, that is where I definitely have already been. Only trouble is over in here, there's islands. It'd be hard to see at night. Let's get our silver. Okay. decide what to do. You put it in the boat. If you have 4 spots, so if you have stuff to take home, you can put it in the boat, but I don't want to do that. Okay, let's go backwards. That's just S, and then we'll spin the end of the boat around. We're going to head along this shore and go explore some undiscovered country. Stay close to the shore in case it does attack us. Then we can we'll scull our way along here. That's the other thing that keeps me wanting to be closer to shore. So we're only under skull power, and that's not going to outrun a sea serpent. We're going to go along here, and then we're going to see if we can't. We'll get into that draft of undiscovered water and hope that we have our wind shift. Yeah, it's shifting now. If there's a bear or a troll along the shore, you want to get a little bit more distance for sure, because they will wade out into the water to hit your boat. Which is an uncomfortable position to be in. So we're a little bit caught between a rock and a hard place at this moment. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to hit diagonally down here. Try to clear as much new ground as possible. So your control on your steering for the carve is much more subtle than with the raft. It's more responsive. It turns faster. It goes faster. And but it's still a pretty fragile boat. That's a fish that's orange out there. A fish on the surface. You can tell if it's a fish or a sea serpent. The sea serpent goes around in a circle. And you can see his various fins. Alright, now we've got a little bit of wind. We're going to turn into it in a minute though. So it's not going to be so helpful. Now just because there was that one sea serpent there does not mean there are not more. So this is where you get into the dicey nature of sailing. Now we've lost our wind again. I have to scull down here until the wind picks up from a different direction. Very unnerving to be sculling out into ocean. If we see any sign of a sea serpent, we have to turn around and try to make it to shore. Now, I don't know why that turned, because I did not do that. Could be the wind. Could be a current. You have to watch your trajectory all the time. The trouble is when you're on steerage only, it does not move quickly, this boat. No boat really does. I'm trying to get that a little bit of wind. There we go. Now we're sailing downwind. Only just have a little tiny bit of wind though, so we're not going to be going very quickly. We don't have that far to go though here to get to where we have to watch for islands. There's an island right there, as a matter of fact. And there could be a troll on those islands. Just have to keep that in mind. Okay, we're back to daylight. And I don't know if my render distance is different than other people's, but Sometimes you don't see the troll until you're pretty darn close, or a bear. So it's better to kind of stay a little bit further away than you think is necessary until you can see for sure. Oh, I gotta eat something. I've let my nutrition get all the way out, which is not good. Then if you get into a fight, you'd be at your lowest health. You get dead quick. So your health is the quality of food you're eating, how recently you've eaten. It climbs back up after you eat to what would be the maximum amount of health you can have based off the food you've eaten. So it's really important to eat high quality food that gives you a lot of health and stamina. I do eat some that are like mixed, like the, oh shoot, we've lost our wind. It's okay, we're in the islands now, so not as, we're in meadows, so it's less likely that you're going to get hit with a sea serpent in meadows. They will follow you in from ocean, but I don't think they live in meadows. So I don't usually get hit in meadows. So what we're going to do is we're going pretty much a straight shot for home now. Get home with our silver. There are a fair amount of rocks out in here too, so the good thing is that you can fix the boat once you get home. The bad thing is, if it takes enough damage along the way, you may have to stop on a friendly shore and repair the boat before you can get all the way home. And the way you can tell is you have to let go of the steering wheel. Do 6 and look at your boat. Looks like we're taking damage yet. And get out of there and get back on the helm as quickly as possible. And keep on going. As soon as you let go of the helm, your boat grinds to a halt. So that's why I was worried about, if you get caught by a sea serpent out in the open, and you are on your own and you try to fight them, your boat just goes dead in the water. So it's really helpful to have somebody else along to fight the sea serpent while you steer, or vice versa, however you feel comfortable. It's not a good idea to try to fight them in the water without somebody to man the helm, because you will find yourself in the unfortunate position of being dead in the water with no steerage to help you turn and maneuver. There we go. See how that rendered in then? And our home is pretty much straight ahead. And all these islands off to the side. Trying to get a look at where, oh there it is, just surrendered in. I'm like, where the heck is it? See, now if I turn back this way, it's not there. So that shows you what was originally there, and that shows you what's now there. Isn't that weird? So we're bringing our carva into harbor. At nighttime now you can see the lights before you can actually see the walls. And this is us on steerage coming in. You're just sculling. So you're not going slow. It's going, I think, probably at about the fastest raft speed, but that's and then we're going to go in here, try to decide where to park. Last time we were parked outside the big ship. And then you have to do E to let go of the steering to slow yourself all the way down. I'm gonna hit that one. Fix them both. And then I'll jump on the raft. And from there to the shore. Okay, cool. That worked out. I'll probably get a little more subtle with my steerage capabilities as I gain skills, but right now that's good enough. As long as you're going somewhere, you can fix it. Okay, I actually had 9 silvers altogether, is that right? Wow, that was better than I thought. Now, I usually leave the kiln completely full of coal, so you can just fire up and cook everything that you've got and keep adding. But I will often also make coal while I'm using coal, so you can run in here and grab some wood. Back outside. While I'm smelting, I'm always trying to remake. I don't think I have any more to put in. Nope. So we're good. So we just stand here in between and pick up both the ore and the and the coal. And get that all smelted. And I think I'll leave you there. That's just a bit of an overview of my base and kind of how I play the game. I'm learning, so if you have any suggestions or any input, feel free. Lord Tambu has been very kind to teach me many things, but many things I've also had to learn on my own. So if I have anything wrong, or if there's a better way to do things, or something that would work better, I'm all ears. So thank you again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it.